my full bio, or I'm a 23-year-old male. For my ideal career choice is game design, although I am looking at, park rangering and general park services for my job.
Yeah. So you used to use social media or never touched it?
I barely touch it. I use it in the sense where, like, I'll hop on Snapchat every once in a blue moon if I see one of my friends posted something to me or sent me something, or usually it's them saying, hey, look at your Snapchat. And I go, oh, okay, one sec. Let me upload the newest update, and then I'll read the Snapchat they sent me. Outside of that, probably the one I use the most would be, like, Facebook Messenger, but that's more of a texting app rather than social media. I'd never go on Facebook, like, ever, outside of accepting someone's friend that they told me in real life to go and accept their friend request. It was more something I did for friends that wanted me to be on Facebook when I was in high school than I ever did for myself.
You just never got into it, or is it just stress, or?
I just never really understood it. Like, I'd much rather go and talk to someone. Like, I'd much rather go to one of my friends, which I can see in real life, talk to them, discuss things faster, frankly, than you can usually do on the internet. Like, I'm not the best typist, and even with people who are insanely quick, you still can't communicate as quickly as just a simple conversation. And on top of that, there's always, like, the miscommunications, like emojis. It's a smiley face emoji at the wrong time could mean completely different things to completely different people, and it usually just ends up in more confusion. So I just kind of never really got too into it, and I don't know. It was just always a confusing thing. I just never understood it. Like, Facebook, never got it. Like, I never got the whole obsession with collecting friends and getting as many friends as you want. I was like, wouldn't I just want my actual friends on my friends list instead of random people I don't know? Like, I would get random friend requests from someone and go, I don't know you. Decline. Like, and I don't know, it's one of the reasons, like, I don't usually get too caught up with, like, I get trolled, but I don't get commented trolled, where I'll post something and I might talk to them back and forth a little bit, but as soon as I realize they're just being a shithead, I put the phone down.
Is this forums or
iFunny, Reddit, etc.? It's a combination of forums.
So you use forums more than social media?
Most likely, yeah. Looking at the two of them, I go over forums for a number of different subjects versus social media, where I see it usually as people just being narcissistic, usually for the most part. 9 times out of 10 when I go on Facebook, I'm like, oh, I just had the best apple pie or whatever, and it's like, do I care? No. Why do you post it? For yourself, It's one of the reasons I don't post a lot on Facebook ever to begin with, because everything I thought to post seemed very narcissistic and shallow, so why post it?
So it wasn't for, like, stress or...
It definitely saved me some stress as I've talked to more people, and, like, I know people in high school which were, like, obsessed with getting as many, like, thumbs up or likes or whatever, and I never gave two shits. It was something that just one aspect.
So you feel saner, or...
Huh?
So you feel saner than most?
Well, as sane as someone could be. Like, I have my own issues, but I do think if I was a bit more driven by social media, perhaps some of these issues I experience in my day-to-day life would be a bit more worse, or more exacerbated.
Would you care to share? Or
I suffer from depression. I've suffered from depression since 2nd grade, when I was talking about suicide. I wanted to kill myself even as, like, a little...
Wow.
Second grade, I was talking about getting a shotgun and, shooting off the wall and shooting me. I was still Jeff. My brain is still all sorts of weird, and it always has been and always will. But point stays the same, where even back then I wasn't really happy. But if I was a bit more obsessive about how I was viewed online, it would probably only add to it, especially knowing how regular social interactions have affected it already. Well, quote unquote normal.
So, I'm guessing, do you feel like more social than most people you use social media?
I will say that I have felt some disconnect between my other friends who use it a lot more. Like my main group outside of the D&D group I play with, they play on their phones significantly more than I do. Like I'll play on my phone, but it'll be a game. Like I'll actually play a game on my phone. But they'll play on their phones. They'll be on Facebook or Snapchat or what have you. And I do feel that there is a bit lacking of conversation, or it's a little bit harder to hold attention on one topic or something. But I don't know. I was also raised by people who were very, oh lordy, what's the best way to put this?
Conservative.
Not conservative, but they valued certain aspects of tradition, like
Fundamentalists.
like the way you present yourself, the way you talk. It was a lot of kind of the higher, almost classist type of vibes.
Kind of the high society.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Like my dad's side of the family ran into some money a generation or two back, and so they've kind of had this whole like you gotta act the part in a way and display yourself in a correct manner or some shit like that.
I've been to a couple of those like upper class parties when.
Yeah, I'd get dressed up quite a bit when I was younger because it's always. You know me. You've met me a couple times, and at least for the record, I am not a classy individual. I am very much me and only me. I don't like putting on masks and stuff like that, and a lot of that kind of culture is all about masks, and I'm a bit blunt.
Well, maybe the way human nature kind of is very masked.
Well, there is that, but like the fact that like there's masks in the traditional sense, and there's like masks. I don't know. Like I try to be me all the time. I don't usually try to change how I act or behave around certain individuals. Like when I was younger, there was a big stress on respecting your elders. As I've gotten older, fuck that. Like they're just like everyone else, only a little bit older. We're all children that just are old children. We're all still figuring shit out. So I talk to someone who's 80 just like I would talk to someone who's 5.
So, do you feel like your friends are more stressed or more too obsessed with social media? For some people you see.
Well, that's the part where I get like my friends, like the ones I hang out the majority of the time with, like outside of the D&D group, they're on it a bit more than I am, but it doesn't. They don't obsess about it like I see other people did, like in high school. You know, high school is definitely a time period for when I noticed like people were like obsessed to the extreme about social media, what someone posted about someone, and it started some big fight both online then in real life, and I'm sitting there going, why the fuck do you care? You know, like a lot of that kind of stuff for me always boils down to just psychology.
So this was like when social media was first coming out, or just?
Well, it was just when it was more like social media's been out for a while. Even when I was in high school, it was out for a little bit. MySpace was a thing long before Facebook was.
I remember in my days, it was just coming out like I think like junior year.
Yeah. See, I remember. How old are you?
I'm 25, going on 20.
Interesting. I'm younger than you, but I remember more of the social media stuff. Yeah, because when I was in high school, Facebook was all the rage. But before that, when I was in middle school, MySpace was all the rage. And
how old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh,
I'm 2 years younger than you. Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
So you've seen it in high schoolers, or?
Yeah, I definitely noticed it more. Like I first started noticing it in middle school, but I've always had issues socializing with people in general, and so I never really got into MySpace at all.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of a theme. Like I've interviewed at least like 5 other people, and they seem to either kind of be socially awkward and just like talking to people more.
Definitely a socially awkward individual, as you probably have noticed. I know it's funny I play a bard, but
Do you find that you have more time than your other friends because you don't go on social media?
See, that's the part that always confuses me, at least with my friends. They seem to be spending so much more of their time with all this other stuff, but they seem to always have more time to do things than I do.
Really?
Yeah, like I go to work, go to school, occasionally play some video games, not nearly as much as I'd like to. Watch more TV on my off time, but but that's not a lot of time, at least it doesn't feel like that. But then I talk to them and I get done maybe 2 or 3 errands in a day, and they got like 10 done. I'm like, fuck, how do you get all that done while playing on your phone? Like, how?
So you prefer forums over social media?
As far as looking up information, and getting a wide spread of opinions quickly, I usually don't live in them. I'm more of a lurker, if I do go on the forums.
Yeah. What exactly? What's the appeal of forums over social media?
Well, social media usually is a lot of, oh, my day went this way, or this is what's going on in my life, or bitching about someone else's opinions on their other posts. It's a lot of just infighting and stuff. Forums usually have some sort of topic, people discuss it, and obviously it always, eventually evolves into dissolves into chaos and bickering, just like social media. But if you can shift through them, you usually get a few more gems about whatever topic you're looking at. And you do get even with the bickering...
Well, there's always a coach or something.
Well, there's a coach or a moderator or whoever, which sometimes keeps things under control. But then again, it's like, with social media, it can be about anything. Literally anything. About going on in whoever's lives, and people can bring up random shit halfway through the conversation that completely changes the topic. Forums, there's a topic, and a bunch of people arguing about it. And you can go through and look at, okay, what's the common trends for the people who are pro or against, and what are the common trends for the people who are in between, and you can get a good idea. It's something I use a lot for for my D&D games or my stories where I'm looking for inspiration. I'll look at a bunch of different people's opinions and what they've done and how people argue it, or that's unfair, or why is it unfair, or what's totally fine about it, and back and forth, etc. And then I make my own opinions based off of a more survey kind of mindset. I don't usually go too in depth in one person. I kind of look at the general vibe of the majority and kind of get an idea how people think. I use a lot of general psychology when I look at that kind of stuff. And yeah, another reason why I avoid social media is just the general psychology of social media is just so needy and narcissistic, at least in my views. You need people to read about you, you need people to look at you, you need people to validate you, especially with Facebook, where there's not even a downvote button, it's just a thumbs up. It's something that still confuses me to this fucking day. Do I thumbs up someone saying blah 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 died?
I think it's only recently they added stuff like smiley face,
yeah,
pissed off.
That was only more recently, yeah. For the longest time, it was something I ran into more than once, where someone was posting about a funeral and about someone's great life, and I have no idea. Should I thumb up this? Should I thumb up that they're dead? Am I thumbing up that they're dead, or am I thumbing up that they had a good life and I'll miss them? What the hell? I don't get it. But other people seem to get it more so than me, and I just try not to be too involved on Facebook. Facebook is definitely one of my bigger sites I try to avoid. It's a nightmare, and honestly depressing to a certain degree, especially when you hear or find the people who you are close with. One of my relatives, who I love dearly, has posted multiple exceedingly racist or homophobic posts, and I'm going there and thinking in my head, because I have a pretty, I'm usually very shades of gray, but there's a few things I have a very thick and rigid line in the sand with. Racism, sexism, and any sort of discrimination are one of my biggest thick lines in the sand, where if you view others as lesser because of one of these things, you are less human by definition for me. You lose a part of your humanity when you view others as lesser.
Legitimately, or just...
I legitimately view people who
No, I kind of heard those phrases thrown out at a drop of a hat at this point. It's
if I'm walking down the street or if I'm talking to someone, let's say we were having a discussion and all of us, I start talking about my friends who are all Hispanic, and you go, lazy fucking beaners, and I don't get any vibe that it was a joke, I'm probably never going to talk to you again, or I'm going to start literally yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs, or like this close to fists. Like, I do not like that stuff.
Okay, yeah, that sounds legit. It's just outrage culture and stuff has made pretty much everything racist, sexist, and homophobic.
No, for me, it's like I can do jokes. The whole point in my mind is for a lot of comedy is to get past some of these really terrible things, like
and
my
push boundaries and all that.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been told that this is transphobic.
That I don't know. Like, as someone who's
Something
part of the
about-
LGBT community, that make no fucking sense to me.
Something about like saying that there's only two genders or
It's a fucking peace sign, or victory. It's not. It's
Actually, this is
this is a view in Britain, but it's also like it's everywhere you go in the world. There's different fucking meanings for everything else.
Yeah, like
At least for the outrage culture, it's just like loosen up. Like, if there's a big difference between someone making a mistake and using wrong terminology and just being ignorant than being someone who's legitimately bigoted. I've been called Senor Medicon by a bunch of 50-year-old Mexican ladies because they didn't know any better, and then I talked to them, and by the time I was done working at Roundtable, every single one of them didn't give a shit about gay people. Because I was open with them, let them make their stupid joke, got on with it.
Okay, so I am talking to
Carl Francis Gonzalez Martin the First.
And Edward White.
Edward White.
Edward White, that's my name.
Oh, I thought you were Teddy.
No, my true name is Edward.
Wow.
People think it's Theodore all the time.
So you both have never used social media before?
I used Facebook briefly, but that was to play a Walking Dead game back in high school. But then the game sucked, so I stopped using Facebook.
Okay.
And you?
I've never posted to social media. I just kind of follow people, to be honest. I've only ever used social media for, I guess, its intended purpose on Facebook, just to talk to family and stuff. But besides that, nothing. I don't follow anybody on Facebook even. I just only follow people on Twitter and stuff.
So have you found that you're less stressed than your peers?
I don't.
Since you don't, I mean, you're not connected 24/7.
I do use the internet all the time. I just don't use that kind of stuff. I don't really I don't know what's going on in other people's lives, and I don't really care about that much.
Well, even though I follow people on social media, it's not anybody close to me besides family, of course. And I would say, yeah, I'm not as stressed as other people might be, in terms of social stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really feel any social pressure or anything. Yeah, I don't really care about that kind of stuff anyway.
Okay, do you feel more social than other people that use, Facebook and Twitter?
Not at all.
No. I'm pretty shy.
Yeah. I feel like I would be the kind of person to post on social media. It's not even so much that I don't want to, I just don't, because, I'm scared to share my opinions, the phrase, opinions are like...
Assholes?
Yeah, exactly. You don't go showing them around.
I probably would have posted stuff too, maybe go on some YouTube comment sections, but I don't know, I'm also scared of showing off my opinion.
So, less social than you.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty shy anyway.
At the same time, I just feel like people don't need to know everything that's going on, right now.
Seems kind of pointless to tell everyone exactly what you're doing every moment of your life.
And to be honest, who cares?
Exactly.
Is there any other reasons why you stay away from social media, like mental health concerns or stress?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of mental health issues, and I feel like maybe I'm just cautious, but like I don't want to risk like anything bad happening, like people bashing me for my opinions or like whatever pictures I take, whatever. I don't know.
Yes, I'm pretty cautious too. I don't want to throw myself out there and get chewed up by all kinds of people for just one little sentence. Doesn't seem
That's
useful.
another thing, the anonymity of the internet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even if you have your own profile, like it's quite literally an avatar of yourself. I mean, I don't know if that's off topic, but
Well, yeah.
Go.
Even if you are completely disguised, the username and everything, you're still getting attacked. It's directed toward you, and you're freaking.
and it's a person's sort of online persona.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you don't want that.
I watched a whole video about it, how like people have different faces for their online profiles and personas, identities, whatnot.
Yeah, and you don't want your persona to get destroyed either.
Yeah, that's why you like only upload like certain things. Like you don't upload literally everything. You upload the things that make you look good or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, if you can.
Usually, like from what I've seen from social media, you kind of surrender more of your anonymity than.
Oh, I'm
keep-
sure. Like
Oh, yeah.
for a lot of people.
When you. Well, yeah, they're gonna figure out. Like, if it's a social media where your face is up there, then yeah, they're gonna.
Like more like Facebook and stuff.
Exactly.
Which is like a lot more of like an actual person thing.
Yeah, then Twitter and.
Well, I think Twitter is more on the side of like people being able to idealize themselves.
Oh, yeah, because it's just a few sentences.
And then on something like, I don't know, Instagram, that's just total, like,
Yeah,
the best of you. Only.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't really know. I don't use Instagram or Twitter.
I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, like one of the things I'm doing this project on is essentially what social media does to mental health. Like, so
Mental health, like being bullied or something, or
like,
just like.
well, for anything from like over, stress to like legitimately triggering like bipolar or making those.
On that note, I will say I've made like friendships online with like people and stuff, and those haven't always been great. It was always sort of stressful, like maybe it's just me personally, but I have anxiety disorder, so like I'm not great with people. But like with online people, it was always much more difficult because I felt like I never really had room to say no to them. So I always kind of felt like I was obligated to like interact with them.
And this isn't social media?
This is social media. Like, not like, I never met them on like Twitter or Facebook or something, but like.
Like Elsword?
Not like an MMO. Well,
Steam?
well, some MMOs, I guess.
Oh, Steam.
It's more like Steam or
Yeah,
something, Skype, if that counts, I don't know.
Well,
Steam
usually
and Skype.
But it's people I met online
Mm.
on almost the same vein. I don't know.
Well, usually those are considered like more closed, like forum or private
Yeah, I know.
forums instead of like social media. Like it's kind of more open, public out there.
I know, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like I'm scared of people online and like getting close with them. Like any online relationships, like friendships, not like relationships, but like they've never gone well.
Oh,
So I tend to just avoid people online on the long term.
oh, that's sad.
And you?
Few times. I hilariously have this problem where I just lose contact with people constantly, which is probably why I wouldn't be even good with social media because I don't consistently talk to people that much.
And do you have anything any like mental stuff? Do you think social media may make worse or trigger?
I'm not sure if this is any kind of disorder, but I have a continuous problem where I will always remember I'll always remember bad things said to me over and over, like when I'm just feeling sad. I think that everyone kind of feels that. That's just all I really got. Yeah, nothing too bad though. Worst thing I've ever been called was a scapegoater, and that I sucked.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It haunted me for weeks. Mostly scapegoater, surprisingly, because it was
Wow.
because it's an insult directed toward your behavior, and it's like I didn't mean to do that.
That's extremely mild. I mean, I've been like called a kind of like a cis and go kill yourself. Though admittedly, that's Tumblr in general.
You see that a lot on Tumblr when you.
Oh, Tumblr is all sorts of things.
Like I only do that to, I like go on there to talk to certain artists. I try to actively avoid all the other kin and.
That whole circle.
I think one of my accounts is currently being like harassed by a pod of otherkin whales because I told them to go f themselves for continuing like saying like can we just like solve racism by killing all the white folk? Yeah, because genocide's always the answer.
It wasn't right when Hitler did it. Why do you think you got the right?
Okay, this is game bit off topic.
Yeah, we do.
So,
often.
do you consider like closed forums like Discord and 4chan and Reddit like a bit better than social media in general?
Certainly. I mean, it's definitely like more surrounding yourself with people who are having common interests, or like, well, if you ended up in the same place, you're more likely to get along. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bit more anonymity.
Yeah,
because I don't know what it is.
Because you can just put up a name.
Anonymousness.
Anonymous.
Anonymity.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Reddit's real good for that. You posted something on Reddit, remember?
I posted a few times on Reddit, yeah.
Yeah.
It was mostly gaming related stuff.
Well, yeah, but that was still good. It was still pretty good.
I never had bad experiences on Reddit.
Yeah, me either. I've looked around Reddit. Seen some.
And 4chan Discord.
Never been on 4chan.
Never been on 4chan.
Haven't been on any open Discord servers.
I was on 8chan once. That was weird.
8chan?
You don't go to 8chan. You'll see some Pokemon porn immediately. I know.
There is Pokemon porn.
Yeah, freaking Vaporeon with a pussy. Just giving you some editing work.
I did not know that.
You were asking about it, like freaking. You were asking.
So I'm guessing both of you are on the internet a lot.
Yes. Mostly. I've been surprisingly finding not a lot to do on the internet anymore. I don't know. I know there are things I could be doing. I just can't think of anything. It's like having a giant video game library. You just don't know what to do.
Do you like interact a lot with? How much do you interact with like the outside world?
Like real life?
Yes.
I try to talk to some people in my fencing group.
Hey. Interview.
Me like. We're having a little interview here.
Yeah. So.
Continue.
Yeah.
Me? I don't get out as much as I want. Most of my like social interaction comes from coworkers and such. And I do enjoy their company. It's not bad, but I find like, again, I have social anxiety, so like I often find myself wanting to interact more with people, but like just not doing it out of fear.
Do you think you like interact more than usually, people who than people on social media usually like use social media? I mean, I usually like walk around and see people like on their phones all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, save for anxiety, I certainly feel like I would talk to more real people than like social media.
Yeah, if I could get my...
Like there are like you said it yourself at that like Friday game night. I'm more like open with people.
Yeah.
Than you are even.
Yeah, you talk a lot more than me. And I think if I ever brought you to a Saturday night game, you probably will have talked more than me as well. I guess I don't know, I'm really shy and don't really know the intervals of conversation too well, since I...
Like shy or just introverted?
I don't think I'm introverted because I want to talk to people, but I don't know how to talk to people, which means I'm probably shy. I'm just scared of people and not saying the right things and all that kind of thing.
So social anxiety?
Kinda, but I don't know, downscaled from him. Even though he talks to people a lot better than me, somehow. Mine must be stemming from shyness.
You're more open to getting into situations and but not as much like talking to people. Well, I am less open to getting into like social circles and stuff, but am more open when I do. I think that's how I describe it.
Yeah. I'm more willing to go out and do something, but I'm not gonna do it well. Like in conversation wise.